everybody. Welcome to my first installment of Real Talk. So, today I'd like to talk about a very hot topic these last couple of days, and that's been based around promotion for indie comics or indie novels, I guess indies in general. This all spurred from a very prominent tweet where someone had said, "Never ever ask or wait or expect people to put you on or promote you." Now, flat out, I think, especially for smaller and upcoming artists and creators, this is really, really bad advice. Now, this may work for people that are already established, have pre-built audiences, where people are actually going to be coming to them asking, "Hey, can I promote you?" And in many cases, it's because they also want to gain followers and gain recognition off of that creator. But for a new indie creator who's coming in, minimal Twitter following, minimal connections, this whole idea that, oh, it all has to happen organically. Well, for many of us that have done crowdfunding or seen many other people do crowdfunding, if you just post your project on Indiegogo, Fund My Comic, or even Kickstarter, regardless of how good the art or the story is, it's very, very likely it's just going to be drowned out. Just like when an indie novelist, puts a book on Amazon and thinks, oh, millions of people are going to see it. It's very, very unlikely. Not saying it's impossible, but it's very, very unlikely. There's a very good chance that no one is going to see your content because not a lot of people go shopping, especially on crowdfunding sites. You can get some organic traffic from Kickstarter, but how smaller creators, especially like myself, get exposure is networking. And in a lot of cases, you need to ask for help. Now, part of the narrative that's being spun is that creators go in expecting promotion, and then when they don't get it, they're going to be resentful, etc. And that may be the case sometimes, and that's not a healthy mindset to have. So to me, instead of telling people, hey, don't ask for promotion, maybe give them feedback based on your own experience, if you have that experience, right, starting from the ground up within indie comics or indie novels, to help folks have a level head when they approach crowdfunding or pushing out a product, right? Help them realize that you have to go in with hope, but not unrealistic hope, right? You have to be grounded. You have to be respectful when you approach people about promotion, and you need to not get upset if you get ignored or turned down, because yes, it's going to happen, right? So the biggest thing is try to push new people towards learning from other folks' experiences. And there's a lot of creators out there like myself that are trying to share their experience. So it's like, hey, guys, this is what the experience was for me. Here are my lessons learned so that you don't go through the same struggles or heartaches that some of us have went through. And that's something I did. I learned from other creators. I joined their streams. I watched their videos to understand you need to reach out to people. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. And yes, sometimes you're going to get ignored. People are going to turn you down. But that doesn't mean you give up. That doesn't mean you just get angry and become resentful, right? Even though everyone has normal human emotions, and sometimes you may feel burned, when those things happen. So going back to the main crux of the point, and that is, do you ask for self-promotion or ask for promotion? I think absolutely you must if you are a new creator. And from my own experience, right, I came into this with, maybe 500 Twitter followers when I started my sign-up page. It gradually got a little bit bigger. And, when I actually kicked off my campaign, I did reach out to probably 30, 40 creators or YouTubers that do promotion. Now, about probably 60, 70% of them, they did respond. They said yes. I went on their streams. And about 40% of them either didn't read it or politely turned me down. Now, The key to all this is how I approach them, right? I'd reach out to them through a DM usually and just say, hey, I see you do promotion. I have a new comic out. I really appreciate your content, because in most cases, these are folks that I follow, that I watch their content, and just share your link and say, hey, I have this new project. I'd love for you to check it out. If you wouldn't mind having me on your stream or channel sometime, I'd really appreciate it. So it's all about having a respectful approach to asking for promotion. You don't need to have too much pride to ask for help or promotion when you're starting from the bottom. I mean, that's how you're going to end up getting crushed in the end when you don't fund and you can't finish your project. Um, and that happens way too often. So it's all about the approach. And I can guarantee you, if I would have just done my crowdfunding without asking for any help or asking for any promotion, maybe I would have got 10% of the funding I got. I mean, right now I'm sitting right under 8,000 for novels, which is not bad at all. And there's a mini comic, but I probably got 70% of my backing because I reached out to these promoters and because I asked folks to share my work. That meant me recouping all of my art cost, covering all of my marketing cost, everything, and then being able to turn a profit so that I can keep giving people great content. And it's not just also about, yourself, right? If I wouldn't have asked for that promotion or asked for that help, I would have been depriving all of my backers of the books that they received, right? That entertainment, that content, that art. All of those folks would have been missing out on that if I would have been too prideful to just ask for help. So I do not think it's good advice to tell, especially smaller creators, do not ask for promotion or help. It's all about how you do it and how you respond internally or externally to rejection or being ignored. So I think creators need to really share their experiences with other creators so that they can go into launching a new product with a level head and being respectful and not having their hopes be too high. And I don't think that's an unreasonable or divisive approach. I mean, if anyone attacks me for this video or this approach, then I think they need to reevaluate kind of their thought process on these things, because I truly want to help other people. I'm not doing this just to help myself. I try to promote people as much as possible on Twitter, whether it's through retweets, quote tweets, comments, etc. Especially my own artists. Like, I want them to grow as well. I want indie to grow. The more great indie projects that get exposure, the better chance that they can climb and kind of leak into the mainstream and maybe someday change the mainstream as a whole, right? To reverse the course that it's been on. But if you don't lift those products of those unknown or kind of unseen creators, there's very little chance that they're going to actually climb and get that exposure. And I think we should be lifting each other up. We're not kicking out, monthly or, even, bi-monthly products, right? There's a lot of empty space for our readers to find other projects. You share the projects of other creators, those creators will be a little bit more incentivized to share your products. And again, it's a big snowball effect. I started with like 500 followers before signups. Now I'm over 2,000. It's all about that effort, connecting with folks, reaching out. And the other thing is you have to take a shot on everything. That even means you reach out to the biggest YouTubers, right? Go into it thinking, hey, it's very unlikely they're going to respond, but if you don't try, you'll never know. And the thing is, I actually did get on some really big channels because I put myself out there and I wasn't too prideful to just ask for help. I've got on some really big channels, on one channel several times because I reached out. And it probably got me 10, 20 backers. So if I wouldn't have done that, I'd be sitting here with less backing, less books in people's hands, and I, I, I should be in that case regretting not trying. When you're an indie, when you're a owner, you have to turn over every stone possible. You're doing yourself disrespect if you don't. So I hope people will just think about kind of the origin of this whole topic and not just listen to one side, listen to several perspectives and see what makes sense for you. But I just hope that people don't only listen to one voice or one side of it, whether it's because of popularity or whatever, because there are a lot of voices out there like mine that have went the route of asking for help, asking for promotion, and they're very glad they did. And some of them got even bigger and bigger and bigger over time because at one point they asked for help and they reached out to people. So that's my perspective. I want to share that with other creators. Maybe it'll help them out. And right now, I'm going to plug myself. I'm going to promote myself because, again, you got to take every opportunity. So I'm sure everyone that is watching is aware I have some products out there. I have active campaigns on Indiegogo and Fund My Comic for Vigilantes Creed, which is 2 novels and a mini comic about a gargoyle and a team of vigilantes fighting terror in Detroit. So here you have the duology version, which is both novels combined with a beautiful Joe Ball cover. We also have the individual novels that are in color that are also available. And then you have the mini comic, and there's a couple variants of that introduces all the major characters while depicting some of the major scenes and introducing those characters with key information and details. So you get a very immersive reading experience. So I please ask that everyone go check that out. The links will be below. And yeah, everyone just shoot your shot. First, I mean, any creative endeavor, it's all about taking that jump, right? Taking that leap of faith, just putting your head down, grinding, getting some words on a paper or some art on some paper, right? Promotion is no differently. You got to take risks. You got to put yourself out there. Don't be ashamed. Don't be prideful. Just do whatever you can to get your products out in people's hands because if you're passionate about your product, you're passionate about the community, you're going to do everything possible to get yourself out there. All right, until next time, thank you guys, and God bless.